for this award. Good morning. This will be a folding carton inside of a corrugated box filled with thank yous. I want to express my deep appreciation to AICC and RISI for this honor. When Steve Young alerted me about my induction into AICC's Hall of Fame, I went to the website and looked at the list of my predecessors. I was duly humbled. The names, and here are just a few: Hardy Sanders, Dick Troll, Jack Rollman. I call Jack Rollman the professor because every time I talked with him, I learned something. Joe Palmieri, who brought W. Edwards Deming to the box business, and just last year, Steve Young. Steve Young, talk about a tough act to follow. I want to thank RISI and the Yellow Sheet, which have been worthy competitors over the years. The industry was lucky to have them. Will Mees, Greg Rutter, Dick Porter, Mark Arzamanian, Esther Dukowski. Today, I remember in a special way my parents, who emigrated from Ireland about 90 years ago. One came on a Friday, the other the next Monday. They never told us this, of course. Immigrants didn't talk really about the old side. We looked it up. In Ireland, these young people knew poverty, war with England, followed by a civil war. In the mid-1920s, they came to America and found a better life. They also found each other, and 15 years later, had 5 sons. I was the last, and I thank my brothers for blazing paths that were easy to follow. They included 2 nieces who are here today, Eileen Curley Hammond and Carolyn Curley Sylvie. Thank you for coming to Vegas and sharing this day with me. I thank NB Publications, for whom I worked for more than 3 decades. I thank Ted Velarde and Howard Neft, NB's founders, for introducing me to this industry and helping me find my footing. I thank Tom Velarde, who has grown the company for more than a decade, and Robin Smith, who has added executive leadership to the company. We brought over Greg Kishbaugh from Boxboard, and he has guided Flexo Market News for several decades. Jackie Schultz came over to launch Corrugated Today about 15 years ago. We were friends when we were competitors and have become closer friends today. Thanks to the Bruntons, Mike and Dan, for their partnership with NB. Thanks to Gail Kalina, who taught me not to rage against the machine, but to learn enough computer to get by. She was so patient. 2 decades ago, I hired Anna Dutker-Rowley into our Chicago office. Thanks, Anna, for handling recycling markets and for covering Chicago Tappy for me. I thank Len Prasik, my successor at Board Converting News, for the smooth transition when I retired from full-time work. Len has taken BCN to new heights. Thanks to the industry associations that have helped to educate me and made my job easier. Not only Steve, Taryn, Cindy, Maria, Mike, the newbie, and everyone at AICC, but the good folks at FBA TAPI, PPC, NPA back in the day, and the International Corrugated Packaging Foundation. Thanks to the industry suppliers who have been universally willing to share their knowledge. I don't have a degree in either electrical or mechanical engineering. Mine is in English engineering. So believe me, I used up all the help you gave me. Finally, thanks to the converters who talked with me on the phone and invited me into their places of work. In the 50s and 60s, there were a lot of variety shows on television. Most of them, the hosts, be it Red Skelton, Bob Hope, Carol Burnett, to name just a few, would come out at the end of the show and thank viewers for letting them, quote, into our living rooms. Well, thank you for letting me into your factories, where I got to see your operations, to listen to your stories, and to share in the joys of many dreams that had been fulfilled. I remember visiting Jim Hagelin's plant on Hiawatha Boulevard, I checked that out today, in Minneapolis, and years later, his manufacturing palace in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Trust me, it was a serious upgrade and a sign of great success. Many of you have achieved similar successes, and these are great stories to tell. It is said that the box and carton industries are mature ones. And if you look at FBA statistics on corrugated shipment volumes, for example, they show that the industry hit its peak way back in 1999. Yet the packaging industry today has grown by operating more intelligently. Its workforce is better educated, and its management more responsive to customers than ever before. These dimming eyes see a bright future. Thank you.